Hi, I'm Dave Epstein, and welcome to this edition of Growing Wisdom, where we are talking planting onions. So onions are a great crop to plant. You can plant them in the ground. You can actually do them in containers as well if you have well-drained soil. So just follow the instructions that we're doing in the ground and do them in a container. The first thing you want to do is be sure you have your soil prepared. So we've raked the soil, we've gotten rid of any weeds, anything that's sort of fallen in there over the course of the winter. We've also added some organic fertilizer, and I like to personally add a little bit of extra potash, just a tablespoon in a 5-foot row. Onions are a cool weather crop, so you want to start them early in the spring as soon as the ground is able to be worked. When you want to start your onions, there are a couple of ways you can do it. One is you can start them from seed, so you can start the seeds inside anywhere from 8 to 12 weeks earlier than you'll put them outside, or you can start them from these little bulbs that we're doing today. I like to start my onions from the bulbs. I just think it's easier. Now, I don't get the varieties that you'd get if you start them from seed, but nonetheless, I just prefer using the bulbs. So my little trick when planting the onions is to space them only 1 inch apart, which is way closer than you're supposed to plant them. However, what I do is I pull up the green onion, and as you can see here on this particular bulb, it's already started to sprout. So I pull the green tip up when it gets to be anywhere between 4 and 8 inches long, and I use those in cooking. By pulling up the green onions, I leave every third onion giving me a spacing of about 4 inches apart. That's a really nice amount of space to grow healthy onions. So if you are going to plant them really close together, be sure you pull up the green onions before they get too big. So the cool thing about onions is you can harvest them at any time. There's really no wrong time to harvest them. But if you want to store them for the following winter, let the tops die back. After the tops have died back, I leave mine in the ground anywhere from 10 to 14 days, no longer than 14 days. This will help the curing process. Next, pull them out of the ground and leave them in the sun for the afternoon. Now you want to cure them. So what I do is I put them in a warm, well-ventilated place, spread out on newspaper, and let them slowly cure. By doing this, your onions will be able to be stored for a long period of time. Don't cut the tops off of the onions till they're completely cured. If you do need to cut them, still leave at least 1 inch. So here's 3 onions that I harvested August of last year. We're in April. So these have been going for 8 months. They've been down in the basement. They're still incredibly firm, and I'm still eating them. Notice the top here. Notice I left about 3 inches of top on the onion. I feel that it helps the onions to really store much better by leaving some of this on. This is all nice and dried, and it really protects the onion. You know your onions are cured when it has this sort of rattly sound to the skins. So this gave me that. And you can see just how much bigger. That's about 6 times the size of what I planted. Pretty cool. If you follow these instructions, you'll be enjoying onions all season long. For Growing Wisdom, I'm Dave Epstein.